Hello and welcome to today's video. We're going to recap the two series that took place in the LPL as well as preview the two that will take place tomorrow. I have some in-depth stats here that I utilize at MSI. We're going to try and do them for as long as we can until it just doesn't make sense time management wise. This video is coming out much later than I would like as well, so just something to think about going forward. But first, we have Ultra Prime Invictus Gaming, two teams that I would consider to be the bottom few in the LPL. They are in the same group, in Group D. I went 2-0 on predictions today, both 2-1s. Ultra Prime coming through clutch. They did have three players that had some significant LPL experience, at least in the case of two. And then Yukai had several games. I think he had at least over 50 games over his career thus far, maybe even up around 80, whereas IG only have on. So going into this, a lot of young players, and they showed up. Some of them playing very well on both sides. So game one, very slow. IG would go to the jungle twice, putting Hacker behind. GLFS coming through in a big way. I think he played Nidalee in game one, if I recall. Laning phase would end at 15 minutes. Ultra Prime would take 4 Grubs. IG would take 2 and Rift Herald. And then also take 4 Drakes, kind of showing just how dominant they were in that department in that one. At 15 minutes, 800 gold lead for Zuan in top lane. Zuan would come away from this debut series with 2 solo kills, which is something to note. 700 gold lead and 10 CS for GLFS. 1.8k gold lead for Yukai in mid lane. He would solo kill Nenny under turret, and Nenny would return the favor in game one. 1.3k gold lead for On and Vampire into Doggo Nikat, and a 19 CS lead. So, as you see here, I have Zuan, Nenny, Yukai, all three with solo kills. 3,500 gold power play for IG in game one with the Baron. Game 2, we saw a little more action. Ultra Prime 2 trips top side, 1 trip bot side. IG going top and mid once. Laning phase would end at about 12:15. Grubs, IG took all 6 and the Rift Herald. But the teams traded Drakes, and Ultra Prime took all 3 Barons, which was a big deal. I mean, they almost got 6,000 total gold from those 3. At the end of laning phase, the only significant differences were in the favor of IG. The bot side of the Rift, so mid and the bot lane duo, going heavily in IG's favor. 1k gold lead in mid, 1.9k gold lead in bot lane. So IG kind of throwing this one. We saw as team fights began, the team looked very disjointed, and that's what's going to happen at the LPL level when you're mixing and matching players from other teams, LDL players, LPL players. It's going to happen. A sloppy series altogether. Something also to think about, this game really did start turning in the favor of Ultra Prime. I mean, IG did have a lead, significant lead, right? Yukai getting 2 solo kills in game 2. I would say he was probably the MVP of this series. Game 3, both teams would make a trip into the jungle. I think, I forget who initiated it, but it was returned. I believe Ultra Prime initiated it. And then IG did return the favor. Ultra Prime would also go mid lane once. They took all 6 Grubs in game 3. The Rift Herald, IG took 4 Drakes to 2. However, in terms of Barons, Ultra Prime took both Barons and had 5,700 total gold from them. At 12:20, when the laning phase ended, there was a 1.6k gold lead for the bot lane duo of Doggo and Niket, them coming through in a big way. Zuan would end up with another solo kill in game 3, like I said, so we had 2, and Niket on the Blitzcrank had a 2v2 kill. Totals from this series, in terms of teams, we had, I should have had total plays on here, I didn't put it there. 5 plays each side. IG a little more active in the jungle, going there 3 times. Average in terms of gold difference at the end of laning phase, I'm trying to include this. Series 2, it didn't go as easy because game 1, they must have had a technical error when it came to the scoreboard. But game 1, 233 gold lead for Zuan across 3 games, average 15 CS. GLFS had 300 over Hacker. Yukai 567 gold lead over Neni. And then the bot lane duo of An and Vampire had 533 gold over Doggo and Niket. In terms of grubs, Herald's 10 and 8 for grubs in favor of Ultra Prime, and then IG took 2 Heralds to 1. IG also took 11 Drakes to 5, them dominating in the Drake department in games 1 and also game 3, but Ultra Prime were able to drag out game 3 to a point where they could come away with the win. Power plays. So Ultra Prime had 5 total, averaging about 2,300 gold each, and IG had 1, getting 3,500. Highlights. So Yukai 14-3-24, 31% of damage in the win, 3 solo kills. Doggo 10, 2, and 17 had the best KDA. Niket 2v2 kill. An led the way for IG, going 6, 6, and 13, 34% of damage in the loss. Zuan 2 solo kills in top lane, and then Neni returned the favor on that solo kill onto Yukai in game 1. Now, game 3, we don't have the fun stats because of the scoreboard. Gold was not a thing that we could track easily. I half-assed did the Baron stuff, so it is what it is. That could be quite inaccurate, but I made an attempt. So game 1, very slow. Honestly, this series in general, not... I didn't even include Weibo's stuff in here for the totals, so we're going to have to wing it as we go. But regardless, Weibo not doing anything game 1. Aki slightly ahead of Tarzan, going to the jungle and bot lane. Weibo taking 4 grubs, but it didn't matter because ninjas took 2 Rift Herald and then all 5 Drakes. Weibo struggling to get Drakes in control over that objective, that side of the Rift in general. 1,100 gold power play for Nip, and Weibo actually had 2 Barons. The first one going very poorly. I had it roughly about negative 4,000. I mean, a truly rough Baron. And then Nip would really come close to ending this one with Elder, but Light stood strong. Light played excellent for Weibo in that one. And as a result, he was able to keep the game alive, and Weibo actually ended off of that. They had Baron. They were taking Baron as they were defending their Nexus, and were able to turn the game and end off of that base defense. Zhao, who had a solo kill in game 1, also a note to be made. Now, game 2, we had the stats that I like having. So things were a little better for me. In terms of plays, once again, quite slow. Nip went top lane once. Weibo would go in the jungle once. Weibo took 4 grubs. But Nip took the Rift Herald and all 5 Drakes again. So 10 Drakes to none in the first 2 games. Taking Elder is obviously a big deal. Laning phase ended before 11 minutes. So very short laning phase. But yet a long game to get to Elder. 300 gold lead for Shanji. 400 gold lead for the bot lane duo of Light Crisp and Defodic Zhuo, including a 16 CS lead. Mid lane was interesting because Zhao had a 100 gold lead, but Rookie had a 25 CS lead. Zhao, who had a solo kill, Rookie had a solo kill in games 2 as well. The one power play going in the favor of Nip, almost 4,800 gold. So very efficient power play in game 2 to win it. Game 3, both junglers much more active. So Tarzan on Lee Sin goes top, invades the jungle as well as goes bot side. Aki on the Sejuani went to mid lane twice. Weibo took all 6 grubs and Rift Herald, so finally at least some sort of objective control. But once again, giving away Drakes. So Nip ended up taking the Drakes in the laning phase. Laning phase ends at 1530. 700 gold lead for Tarzan. Now, you don't want your Lee Sin as the leader of your team in gold. That's just not a good situation. Rookie matching it with 700 gold lead of his own and a 31 CS lead over Zhao. He would have a solo kill in game 3 to go with his other in game 2. So both mid laners with 2 solo kills apiece. 900 gold lead for the bot lane duo of Fodic and Zhuo, 21 CS as well. So definitely in Nip's favor at the end of laning phase. They would end up taking 4 Drakes to 1 in game 3. Power play, almost 3,000 gold in the one power play they had, and that was enough to end the series. Plays, 5 in favor of Nip and 4 in favor of Weibo. Grubs and Heralds, 2 Grubs and 2 Heralds for Nip. And then what? 8, 14, and 1 for Weibo. Drakes, 14 for Nip and only 1 for Weibo, which, I mean, that was the difference maker there, the lack of objective control. Now, a lot of people saying a little bit too much, in my opinion, about the Weibo situation. You know, they have 2 new players. Personally, I think Weibo are going to be better than Nip in the end. I think Tarzan is an excellent jungler, but it's going to take a little bit of time. It's not going to happen seamlessly. That's why I picked Nip to win 2-1, even despite thinking Weibo are the better team long term. In terms of power plays, about 29-53 over 3 Barons for Nip, and Nip come out ahead in the Baron defense category. I had 900 gold on average for 2. Rookie leading the way, going 15-4-13, 31% of damage, 2 solo kills. Zhuo, 2-6-28, had the best KDA. Shanji, also a solo kill. Fodic and Zhuo, 2-2v2 kills in Game 3. Light, 14-5-7, 35% of damage in the win. And Zhahu had 2 solo kills for Weibo, so some interesting stats that you're not going to find anywhere else easily. So keep that in mind. And also the 2 games. So what were the laning stats like? Not big differences. Tarzan had 350 gold because of 700 gold lead in Game 3, and it went even in Game 2. 300 gold lead for Rookie across 2 games, and 250 for Light and Zhuo. Now, preview, RNG Team Wii. Wii would win 2-0 last time they played. 6 of 10 starters are the same. Differences, RNG now have ZDZ in top instead of Breathe. They also have Wanfeng instead of LP. LP is now playing for Team Wii, and Mark is playing instead of Iwandi at support. So, in that one, Hung and Fofo, the matchup that remained the same was the mid-jungle duos. So, Hung, Fofo, 13-5-40, 44% of damage in the win. Wei and Tangwan, 9-11-9, 45% of damage in the loss. Those percentages are misleading a bit, so we see impact on the team's pie chart, but at the same time, Team Wii dealt a hell of a lot more damage than RNG in this 2-0 victory. And then we have Rare Atom Top Esports, definitely a matchup that's a little more lopsided. 8 of 10 starters are the same. Top Esports won 2-0 last time. Rare Atom now have Zhao Hao in the jungle, who played with Weibo in spring, as well as Zhui playing at support, and he had played with Ultra Prime in spring. So the top mid 80 carry comparison, so the 3 carries. 4, 18, and 7 for Zhaozhu, Vikla, Asum, 81% of damage in the loss. 369 Cream, Jackie Love, 28, 7, and 46 with 79% of damage in the win. And their 3 totals in damage combined were like 600 more DPM than Rare Atom's total damage in the entire series. So truly, in terms of DPM, just very lopsided. So that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.